Mm. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hi, Stylespreneurs. Welcome to another episode of the Stylespreneur Podcast. I am your host, Damali Fils. So, hey, I wanted to share with you guys an amazing experience that I had this past week. So, this past week, I was actually, or maybe 2 weeks ago now, I was contacted by Styleseat and they were letting me know that, hey, we have something new at Styleseat and we want you to be a part of it. And of course, I was like, sure, what is it? So, Styleseat has actually created a community forum for their members that are a part of Styleseat. And in that forum, they decided to I guess, feature some professionals, some experts, some industry leaders, and I was chosen. So I'm so excited. So what they did was feature me. And in that feature, we actually did Ask Me Anything is what we did. And so they gave a good little spill on who I am, what I do, a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey in the beauty industry, and with that, I had tons of people comment below in the forum and ask me some amazing questions. So I wanted to make sure not only were they able to get the answers to those questions, but I also shared those questions and answers with my own community. If you're not a part of Style Seed or if you missed it. So let's get into it. So one of the first questions, and you guys know who I am, but I would say in my bio, I included like some fun facts about me. And two of those fun facts were I love to travel. I don't know if I can call myself a world traveler, but I've definitely traveled. And so with that, another fun fact was I like to read. My current goal is to read one book per month right now. I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm a little bit behind this month, but that's okay because I still have time. And I would go on to say, you have time too. So if you're looking to start a new goal, read a new book, it's never too late. Just hop on in. So one of the first questions that I got that's pertaining to one of my fun facts of reading was, let's see, the Four Agreements has been on my reading list for a while now, but I haven't gotten a chance around. What would you say, or any takeaways that you have, and would you recommend it? So, someone actually recommended the book to me. I believe I was at a hair event, and someone was like, "I read this book. It really touched me, and I think it's a book that everyone should read." So, of course, what did I do? I picked it up. I will say that it's an easy read. I want to say I probably read this book within a few days or actually listened to it on Audible. I am more of a listener at this point. Just easier for me to listen in the car, listen while I'm working out, listen in between things. It just makes my life easier and it gives me a better chance to actually achieve those goals by just listening to it versus reading. So, to answer that question, some of my takeaways were that it applied to being a hairdresser, and that one of the four agreements was to always do your best. And so I would say, whenever I am servicing people, whenever I'm conducting my business, one thing that I always want to do is give my best. I believe that people are spending their time, paying their money to me. And because of that, I want to give them my best. I never want anyone to feel like I wasted my money, I wasted my time with that stylist. Like that will never be the case. And that's something that I always tell other stylists, like, put your best foot forward, give it your all. What you put out, you get back. And I really believe in that. So, and not to make like each question extra long. Next question. And this is from, I believe, Lindsay Nails. It's so cool that you have products related to your business. I'm new to the beauty industry, but I love this idea. Do you have any tips on how to create/sell merch on a budget? All right. So, if anybody does not know, I have an Etsy store. I've had an Etsy store maybe since 2018. On my Etsy store, I sell digital downloads, which are all business related, such as booth rental agreements, influencer contracts, marketing plans, business plans, like anything that I believe could help a beauty professional with their business in something that's digital. And so I started doing this because, just to take it back, I have a business degree in management, minor in leadership. So I'm always looking at things from a business perspective, always looking not necessarily to have a leadership position, but it just naturally happens. Um, and so with that, I was like, you know what? I've had to sign leases. I've had to deal with this. And because of that, I was like, why not sell it? Why not help other hairstylists? I'm always buying something from Etsy. And I'm always saying that I am a DIY queen. And I was like, I can sell that on Etsy as well. So I have been doing that. If you are trying to do that on a budget, I would say do your research, do your research, do your research. I did get a really inexpensive book on Amazon, pretty much telling you like how to sell on Etsy. You can sell on your own personal website. You can sell on Amazon. Da, 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 da. I chose Etsy because it's something that I already use, and I felt like something that was coming natural to me. So do your research to see what people are buying on Etsy. Do your research to see what the target audience is on Etsy. That way you know how to target your products, who you're selling to, what they need, what they want. Always do your research when you're trying to do something new. I would say you want to look at what is selling. Chat GPT is our friend right now. Literally go ask Chat GPT or Google what's selling on Amazon right now. What are hairstylists buying? What are some great gifts? That's always important. And just as far as like making it budget friendly, I would say that I use Canva a lot because you can easily use this to create products, sell them through Printify, sell them through Etsy, and that costs you nothing but your time, right? Canva does have a free account or you can get a paid account. Either way, you can create something for free, turn it around, sell it, and put it on Etsy. I am like, go to YouTube University. If you go to YouTube and you say, how do I start an Etsy store? There will be tons and tons of videos, but it'll also be lots of things that you can learn from and that you can incorporate in your own business. All right, let's see. Next question. So, hey, Damali, after supporting clients in the salon for so long, what inspired you to shift your support to other professionals? All right, guys. So I will say that if I had it my way, or if I had never had to make a chance, I would probably only be in the salon, but that has not been my life. My life has been relocating, living in different states, which has all been very exciting. And as you can imagine, having to relocate means I have to rebuild a clientele. And with my lifestyle, that's just not ideal. I love working in the salon, so I still work in the salon a few days out of the week, but it's not what I do full time. I still like to support, I still like to mentor, I still like to coach and help other beauty professionals because I do have so much experience in different states, in different areas of the beauty industry. So, with that being said, I just happened to kind of switch over and start helping other stylists. And honestly, I would say just naturally with me posting that I'm a traveling hairstylist, with me posting that I've written a book to show other hairstylists how to become a traveling hairstylist, stylists start to gravitate towards me to ask questions. And with those questions just became different relationships, different mentorships between different stylists. And so I've just been able to live my life and share with other stylists how I've been able to travel, how I've been able to work with celebrities, do photo shoots, write a book. I love to share. I believe that there's enough for all of us. I believe that the more we share, the more we're successful, and the more people that are going to be successful are the more happy people we'll have in the world. I hate to go anywhere and someone dislike their job because I'm like, imagine that you had a career or a job that you absolutely love. Imagine if you were in a relationship and you absolutely love that person, like you're just naturally going to be happy. So if I can share what I learned with others, if I can make their day, if I can make them happier, if I can help them achieve their goals, then I feel much happier. So in the end, let's all be happy. Let's chase those dreams. Let's do what we love and not waste any time. So that's how I started working in the salon and coaching as a hairstylist. Let's see. So someone asked, like, based on traveling and servicing clients in different states, do the pricing change? Do the tipping change? So I will say, you just have to think about the cost of living. You have to think about the average median. Say, for instance, in Florida, we all know that Florida's a little cheaper to live, or maybe it used to be because everything's expensive now, and that people may not make as much income as they would in New York or California or whatnot. So I will say that depending on the state, yes, my service tickets are higher or different. And I will say that I had one mentor that told me, and this was a great example. He's like, think of a dealership. If you go to Lexus dealership in Florida, New York, California, are they all going to have the same prices? Are they going to be slightly different? But for the most part, it's going to be around the same. So his advice was to me was to just charge the same price all across the board. Now, I will say that I feel like it takes time to be able to do that. I don't think that's something where you can move to a new place unless you find a salon and that salon is already charging those prices. But individually, unless you have a big following on social media, unless you're like really doing things big, that may become a challenge. So you can either charge based on the state or you can just have a flat fee across the state. But just make sure that you're able to back up either one. So let's see. All right. How did you get into becoming a traveling hairstylist, and do you still work behind the chair? So I became a traveling hairstylist because of my husband's career. We have relocated 4 times in 10 years for my husband's job. Um, and with that, when you relocate, you're not going to have a lot of clients right away. And so because I already had an established clientele in the state that I was living in previously, I would just travel back because it was easier. Because I knew if I travel back, I could just easily go back and have a full book of clients versus being in a new state where I would still be building. I wouldn't have as many clients. And so that's how I became a traveling stylist. Do I still work in the salon? So I recently took a hiatus from working in the salon, and I would say after about a year, I'm now back in the salon 3 days out of the week. I love people. I love talking. I love the art of hairstyling. And so I believe that I will always do some sort of hair, even if it's just friends and family, even if it's my neighbors. So yes, I'm still in the salon. I do not travel as much. And I will say I have a kiddo now. And so being able to travel, style hair, is a little bit more challenging. So every now and then I do, some clients get lucky and I am able to travel and do hair. Let's see, next question. All right. It's so cool that you've been able to work in so many different places. Which place do you think has been the best for your business? All right. So I don't know if anything has necessarily been the best for my business, but I will say that each place served a different purpose. So Florida will always have my heart. Those are where my diehard day one clients are, clients that I've had for 10 plus years. Like clients that are always supporting me no matter where I live, clients that will wait for me to come back, clients that are like, oh my gosh, you're moving to this place. I know someone there. Go check them out. So that's always a plus. So clients that are always supporting me, clients that will always say, oh my gosh, I know a friend or a family member there. And that's always a plus. So I will say that New York was probably the most exciting. So when I lived in New York, I worked on some major photo shoots, had some work published, worked with celebrity hairstylists, celebrity clients. I had one client that, and I always tell the story, but I had one client that actually like flew me first class from Florida to New York and then back to California where I was living at the time. So New York is that place where if you feel like, "Mama, I made it," that's the feeling that New York gives you. And then once I moved to California, that's when I really honed in the fact that I was a traveling hairstylist. Because now, before I was just traveling from Florida to New York, but now I added another state. So now I'm traveling. At that time, I was probably traveling twice a month, um, between Florida, New York, and California. That was really exciting. And that was a time where I was just like, I'm reading so many books. I'm already watched all the movies on the planes. Why don't I write my own book? And that's how I published Travel Notice, The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Traveling Hairstylist. And that's why I say each place has its own purpose. Now I'm in Chicago, and I love Chicago because it's not as busy as New York, but it definitely still gives me the feeling of being in the city. And also, there's plenty of opportunities here. And since I've been here, I've really been able to make some major connections. I've been able to really expand my reach. And that's been really exciting for me as I transition into more of, I hate to say a business coach, transition into more of assisting and supporting other stylists, which I absolutely love. And it also gives me an opportunity to still do to create and be a hairstylist as well. So yes, each state has its own purpose. No one's been better than the other. It's just a continuation where I'm continuing to grow, continue to learn, and continue to reach even more people with each state that I relocate to. Let's see. I believe there's a few more questions. All right. Hey, Damali, how do you stay creative and innovative in your business approach? So I would say I attend a lot of hair events. This year, I've been to Orlando, Premier Orlando in Florida. I've been to the American Beauty Show here in Chicago. I've been to a Texture of Exchange event. And I'm pretty sure there's something else. And I also I should check Salon Centric website a lot because they have free classes. I went to a Salon Centric with Sabrina the Hair Witch. Sorry, I almost forgot her name. And that was a color slash social media class. That was amazing. There was another event here in Chicago. They just changed their name. So Beauty with the Purpose was the original name. I'm not sure what the new name is. So I make sure to stay engulfed in the beauty industry, just by meeting a lot of different people, having them on guests as guests on the podcast. That helps out a lot with me keeping up to know what's happening. I'm probably on social media way too much, so I do see all the trends that are happening. But anything that I'm reading or watching, I try to make it hair relatable. I try to make it business relatable. That way, I'm always like up to date with what's happening. One really great question that I always ask my podcast guests is, what does the future hold? Like, what are you doing in the future? So I will say that I get first dibs on a lot of things that are going to be happening in the future, because I know beforehand. So that's how I stay creative. I still have plenty of mannequins laying around. So I get to play with those mannequins. And honestly, as an educator, I'm always learning. I would say my most recent thing that I've learned or that I've gotten certified in is the Mazzani haircut. And I'm currently perfecting that. I'm practicing on my mannequin. I'm practicing on clients. And I'm also preparing to be able to teach that to other stylists. So always learning because there's always something to learn because things are always changing because clients want the latest thing. They want to know what's new. And once you know what's new, once you really perfect that, you can charge more. And it's not that the overall goal is to charge more, but the overall goal is to stay fresh, stay new, and stay being able to have something new and exciting to show your clients. Because unless they're like an 85-year-old woman, they want to try something new. They don't want the same press and curl every week. They want something new. And as long as you're staying innovative, you're able to give your clients that. All right. Hi, Damali. What are the most common maintenance challenges your clients face with hair extensions, and how do you advise them to overcome these challenges? So, with hair extensions, I would say the biggest thing is maintenance and upkeep. A lot of clients love what they look like when they leave the salon, but a lot have challenges keeping that look up. So a lot of times I just like show them, this is how you pin curl your hair. This is how you like wrap your hair at night. These are some different scarves or shampoos. Like I really want to tell them everything that I've used in the salon. I try to retell it to them. That way, if they can't afford to come back, that way, if they prefer to do it at home, that they have that option and that I've set them up for success by showing them what I do, by giving them the products that I've used. And even so, if I have to like send them a TikTok or YouTube video that someone else has created, I don't mind because I want them to look and feel good. And I want them that investment that they spend on extension or color, I want it to last them. I don't want them a week later to feel like, oh my gosh, my hair looks terrible. Like, or oh my gosh, I can only come back to you. And for the clients that are like, you know what, I do want to come back to you, completely fine. Let's pre-book you for your next appointment. That way we don't have, where like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to take my extensions out after 2 weeks. When honestly, you probably just need a shampoo and a new curl or a new flat iron. So make sure to set up your clients with success by just showing them what you're doing, sending multiple videos. And honestly, if you need to sit them down and say, hey girl, you hold the curling iron, you can do it. That's something that you can also do to help them maintain their extensions. Let's see. Hey, Damali. So inspiring to see how you've diversified your business to bring in new income streams. Podcasting is a great idea to get exposure, and it sounds super fun. Can't wait to check it out. What episode of your podcast should I listen to first? That is such a hard question, but I will say listen to the very first podcast. We are on season 4 now. Yes. Go back to the start because I feel like in order to really have a feel for anything or to know what you're getting yourself into, and regardless of the changes, regardless of the upgrades that will happen along the way, you need to start at the beginning. You need to know the why. Why did I start this podcast? Why am I continuing it? Why do I have certain guests, certain topics? And just to quickly answer that, I felt like we had a bunch of an amazing hairstylist. So they could really do some hair, they could lay it, slay it, whatever it, okay? But when it came to the business end, they were lacking. When it came to communication, when it came to customer service, we're not taught that in beauty school. We learned that by working in other salons. We learned that by working with ourselves. And quite frankly, a lot of these stylists, because we have free range, because we're working in suites, we don't have a boss. We don't have someone looking over us. And a lot of times, if we have salon owners or salon managers, they may not know. They just may be an investor. They just may be someone that, oh, you know what? I can have a salon too. And because of that, I wanted to create this podcast so that stylists, salon owners, beauty professionals can learn how to sustain and create successful beauty businesses, because in the end, that's what's going to give you longevity. And so I am here rooting you on. I am here supporting you and giving you all the tools, interviews, digital resources so that you can have that successful business. So start with the first episode, and then I would say skip to season 4, season 3 or 4, only because it only gets better. Only because I've had some amazing guests on the podcast, from the owners of Share to the owners of Canvas Me. I've had Monet Everett. She's a celebrity hairstylist. Just so many amazing people. I've even had Melanie McCoskey, who is the CEO of Styleseat, which is a $1 billion business. So guys, listen to the podcast. There's so much great advice on here and so many great interviews. And I want you to be able to use that for your business and for your success. And let's see if we have more questions. That's the last question. So I'm going to wrap this up and just say thank you to Styleseat, because They thought of me. They reached out to me. I am always tagging them. And for anybody who's like, oh, girl, how did you get that opportunity? I'm always tagging them. I'm always reaching out to them because I use Styleseat. I've been a member on Styleseat now probably for 10 years. So they've been getting my coin for 10 years now. But I do believe in uh natural organic relationships. I've been using Styleseat whenever I get a new client on there. Whenever a client, leaves me a review, I always tag Styleseat. If they're sending out surveys, I try to fill that out. That way we're connected. That way I feel like we have a partnership, even if we don't have an official one. But I know that we're working together. I'm helping them, they're helping me. And so I am very grateful that they included me in their new forum. If you are a member of Styleseat, check out the forum because I have also seen where they've had some other amazing people do it, Ask Me Anything. If you have any additional questions, I am here to answer those. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Stylistpreneur Podcast. Have an amazing day.